talk about Israel, there is a film that was submitted to the Toronto Film Festival, a very prestigious film festival in Toronto. It's the Toronto International Film Festival, TIFF. And the film is called The Road Between Us, The Ultimate Rescue, which is a depiction of what happened on October 7th, in an attempt of, I guess, a grandfather to rescue his children and grandchildren from what was going on there. So it depicts in the movie, it's a documentary, it depicts, it has depictions of what was going on October 7th. And for that purpose, it's using original source material. It is using film, videos that were posted by Hamas as they were raping, murdering, pillaging, slaughtering, massacring the various people. So the story is a story of one man during all of this, but they're storytellers and they're showing what was going on. What is the context? They're showing the actual real videos, which are upsetting, I guess. Anyway, the festival, yesterday, I guess, told the filmmakers, after the film had been accepted, that they would not be able to show the film after all. And the reason they gave is, it's hard to even say it, but the reason they gave was that they had not received permission from Hamas to use videos that Hamas had posted, that Hamas had taken. It was a property right, an intellectual property right issue. They hadn't got all the clearances from the people who took the videos, most of whom I hope are dead, to actually show them in this movie. Now, can you imagine? We're not going to show you the video of the concentration camp because Hitler died before he could sign the release form, so that we could show you what he did, what his orders, that. It's, TIFF says it required permission from Hamas to use the footage. But of course, that's ridiculous. There's no way that is the case. The reality is that the film festival was facing a boycott by its own staff, who said that if the film was going to be broadcast, they would not show up for work. It was faced with the security issues around the protests against Israel. It was faced with the fact that there are lots and lots and lots of people out there in the world who do not want to see reality, who do not want to face facts, who are not interested in the evil Hamas committed, only interested in made-up evils that Israel is committing. They don't want to see, they don't want to look, they don't want to go there. And the Toronto International Film Festival was going to let that ride. Now, once this hit the news, and the New York Post made it a headline story, and it is interesting that the New York Times didn't pick it up, the Washington Post didn't pick it up, not that I saw anyway. I didn't see any of the mainstream big newspapers pick this up. This was primarily pushed by the New York Post and then picked up by a bunch of other second tier, third tier, fourth tier journals. The CEO of TIFF put out a statement saying, no, we really want to show this movie. We understand the concerns they get. They got a lot of letters from the Toronto Jewish community And this is not about censorship. Of course, it's not censorship. It's not government. This is not about restricting speech. This is not about restricting this point of view. This is just a legal issue. We're working it out. We're trying to figure it out. We're looking at different options. Yeah, right. Anyway, the good news is that by this afternoon, the Toronto International Film Festival has reversed course, and they are now committed to screening this movie. Now, if you're in Toronto, I don't know if I have any listeners in Toronto. If you're in Toronto, let me just make an ask. I don't usually ask you to do stuff. I ask for money. But I don't usually ask you to do stuff. I'm going to ask you to go see this film. I want you to go see this film. I want there to be a market response. I want people to show up. I want there to be lines. I want there to be standing room only. I want the festival to get a sense that this is a film that needs an audience, and I think it does. I mean, I can just tell you some of the photos that I've seen of scenes coming out of these are the scenes that we saw after October 7th, but I think a lot of people have forgotten. The Hamas terrorist holding up a baby, we all know what he's about to do to it. The bloodied bodies, the throwing a grenade into a bunker, where a bunch of unarmed civilians are in. Just the horror of that day. People should be reminded of that. People should bear witness to it. And by the way, this is a story of a hero. So I think you'll be inspired by it. It's a story of somebody who didn't just sit in his hands, who suddenly went out there and did something. But the fact the Toronto Film Festival could deny this film, at least initially, is just one more sign of kind of the growing anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. And it used to be that you could say, oh no, people can be anti-Israel and not be anti-Semitic. I think that's not true anymore. I think anti-Israel at this point, given what's happened, given everything that's going on, the anti-Israel is all anti-Semitism. And it is really disgusting and horrific. The lies, the made-up stories, which really, is familiar if you've followed the Israeli-Palestinian debate, because that has been the reality from the beginning. But they always make up stories. They always lie. They always invent stuff. That is the one thing that the Palestinians and their supporters have always been good at, is making up stories and lying. And it continues, and the difference is now, and I really think we've reached a tipping point in some sense. The West is just embracing their lies and rolling with it and making up their own and supporting them and amplifying them. And the West is becoming dramatically more anti-Semitic and anti-Israeli day by day now. It really is. We're watching how this unfolds, and it is super scary. Just run the numbers. Run the numbers. Israel's a small country, and its enemies and its haters more motivated, it seems, than ever, all over the world, and outnumber it, not 10 to 1, maybe 100 to 1, maybe 200 to 1. All right.